All right, if you're a healthcare practitioner in Quebec, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The biggest challenge you face often has nothing to do with patient care. It's that mountain of paperwork that follows you everywhere. Today, we're diving into a tool that was built from the ground up to solve that exact problem, specifically for you, right here in Quebec.
So let's talk about that daily grind. Every single day, practitioners are feeling this immense pressure. It's not just about jotting down a few notes, right? It's about trying to navigate this incredibly complex web of compliance rules, language laws, and professional standards, all while you're just trying to give your patients the best possible care.
I'm willing to bet this next slide is gonna feel, well, a little too real. I mean, does this list of frustrations basically look like a page out of your own diary?
Yeah, there it is. The endless, time-consuming notes after every single patient. You've got the super specific rules from orders like the OAQ for acupuncturists or the OCQ for chiropractors. And then, of course, the absolute requirement for perfect professional French to meet the Charte de langue française. All of this just creates this constant nagging fear about audits. And here's the kicker. Every single minute you spend on this stuff is a minute you're not spending with your patients.
Okay, so what if there was a tool built from day one with this very specific Quebec reality in mind? Well, that tool actually exists, and it's called Operio. Let's see exactly how it works. At its heart, Operio is a clinical documentation solution. But you know, its real secret sauce is in its design. This is not some generic tool that was just adapted for Quebec. No, this thing was purpose-built from the ground up to meet the rigorous, very specific requirements of our professional orders.
And here is that promise, laid out crystal clear. Support for the OAQ and the OCQ? You got it. Guaranteed compliance with the French language charter? Absolutely. And what about protection under that critical new privacy law, Loi 20? It's all baked right in. This is a system that truly speaks your language, both literally and regulatorily.
So how does it actually save you all this time? Well, this is where things get really smart. It takes that foundation of compliance and builds on it with AI-powered charting. Let's take a look.
It all starts right here, in a simple little text box. You don't have to worry about perfect phrasing or structuring your thoughts. You just get your clinical observations down, either by typing or even faster, just by speaking them out loud. The whole process is just brilliantly simple. First, you capture your thoughts however they come out. Second, you click that one AI button and the polished draft function gets to work. And third, and this part is absolutely key, you, the practitioner, get the final say. You review and validate everything. You are always in control.
And this is so cool. This shows you what's really happening behind the curtain. This is a direct quote from the instructions given to Operio's AI. It's not just a generic spell checker. It's been specifically told to act as an expert medical assistant in your field, who is also fluent in Quebec medical French. So the AI isn't just processing words. It's been trained to understand the clinical context, the terminology, and the specific nuances of your practice.
And the result? All of your shorthand, your quick voice memos, your unfiltered thoughts, they get instantly transformed into a perfectly structured, professional, and compliant clinical summary every single time.
But Operio's intelligence doesn't just stop at polishing your notes. It's actually designed to make your entire patient management workflow faster and way more intuitive.
Just look at how it handles different types of appointments. For a brand new patient, it guides you through a really comprehensive data collection to build that solid baseline. But for a follow-up visit, the system adapts. You get a faster, more focused workflow with these smart options like continue same treatment and even a split view that shows you the patient's history right next to your current notes. It's just smart.
And it's packed with all these other little efficiency boosters. You've got a smart search that finds any patient file in an instant. The ability to use predefined templates for common conditions, like headaches or low back pain. And whenever you need to share a file, you can securely export a perfect PDF or Word document with just a couple of clicks. So let's circle back to that peace of mind I mentioned earlier. I want you to think of Operio not just as a tool, but as your own personal compliance shield. This number right here, it's a huge deal in Quebec right now. Law 25 has brought in some really strict new rules for protecting personal information, and honestly, it's a major source of anxiety for a lot of practitioners.
Well, Operio is designed to take this on head-on. It protects all your patient data by default. It uses secure data handling practices, and, this is so important for audits, it maintains a clear, traceable history for every single record, so you can always show that you're in compliance.
And let's just be absolutely 100% clear on this point because it is the most important one. The AI assists you and the templates guide you, but the ultimate clinical authority, that is always, always yours.
So before any record is ever finalized, this is what you see. First, you review the complete report. Then, you're presented with this legal confirmation box, where you formally acknowledge that the record is accurate. Only then do you confirm and apply your digital signature, which creates the final, compliant, professionally validated document. You are always in the driver's seat, period.
So, when you put all of this together, what does a practitioner's daily life actually start to look like? Well, it's a completely new reality, one where you're focused on what truly matters.
Just imagine it for a second. What would it feel like to cut your documentation time in half, getting hours back every week for your patients? Imagine going into an audit, not with that knot in your stomach, but with genuine confidence. Imagine having total control over your data, while also presenting a flawless, professional image with every single report. I mean, that's the kind of transformation we're talking about here.
So really, the final question is a pretty simple one. If you could just eliminate your biggest administrative headache and reclaim all of that time and mental energy, what would you do with a smarter, simpler practice?